So we're outside. It's just too warm inside the house, so we decided to just film outside and show you around.
Canada has a lot of beautiful places, and it's hard to pick your favorite. After 2 years on Vancouver Island, we are still amazed by the beauty of the ocean, the mountains, the rainforest, the wildlife, everything. This is where we want to settle. The best place on earth.
Hey guys, welcome back again to my channel. My name's MC and I'm Felix today, and we're outside here in Sydney at Sydney Marina actually. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the cost of studies here in Canada. So if you're planning to study 1 year or 2-year program, this video is for you. So if you want to know more about that, keep on watching. But before that,
if you like this video, then please consider subscribing and also smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm.
yes. So in this video, we're going to divide the categories into 4. We're going to talk about the tuition fee. The second one would be the miscellaneous fee. The third one is the cost of living. And lastly would be your application expenses. So at the end, we're going to analyze if it's better for you to take 1 year or even a 2-year program. So let's get started. So now let's talk about the tuition fee here in Canada. How much are you going to pay here in Canada? So let's sit down and let's talk about the tuition fee. So here in Canada, it really depends on where you are. And if you're gonna be in big cities such as Toronto or Vancouver, or maybe if you want to go to Montreal, expect that you're gonna pay around 15 to 20,000 Canadian dollar per year. If you're gonna go to a smaller city such as Victoria or maybe in Ottawa, expect that you're gonna pay around 13 or maybe 16,000 Canadian dollar per year. But if you're going to smaller provinces or rural provinces such as the Yukon or go to North Atlantic, you can find them for about 8,000 to 11,000 Canadian dollars. So it really depends on where you are here in Canada. So you have to be strategic when it comes to choosing your school. The bigger the cities, the higher tuition fee, right?
So apart from the tuition fees, there are also miscellaneous fees involved, starting with the application fee. When you apply to a school, there's usually a $100 application fee just to submit your application. The next one is the international student fee, which is about $150 a year. It's just an extra charge, not sure what exactly that's for. Then there is a laboratory fee of around $100 a year, which they charge to use the computer labs. All the schools have health and dental insurance that you have to pay, which is usually about $750 per year. Then there is, depending on where your school is, if it's in a bigger city, there can be a Metro Pass that you have to pay for, and it can be between $75 and $180 per semester. And of course you have to pay for the plane ticket to come to Canada, and we would average that at about 1,300 Canadian dollars from the Philippines to Canada. Of course, it varies very much from where to where you're flying. And lastly, because of the coronavirus, there is a quarantine plan and a mandatory quarantine hotel session that you have to take, and it's about $2,000 that the hotel will charge you for this. So the total miscellaneous fees are around $4,450 Canadian. So now that we've calculated your tuition fees and school fees, let's move on to the next part, which is your living expenses. Canada has a minimum amount required, which is about $10,000 for each year for an individual. At first, of course, you have to pay for your accommodation fee, and in most places you can rent a room for about $500–600 a month. However, if you're in a bigger city, it might be rather around $800 a month. You should calculate about 300 Canadian dollars minimum for your grocery expenses per month for one person if you are not too fancy with your groceries.
Okay.
And don't need extra guac every time. The next thing that you need is a cell phone plan or a SIM card, and it's quite expensive in Canada, and it starts at around $40–45 per month, depending on the plan that you choose, of course. Lastly, if you have a car and if you don't live in a bigger city with good public transport, you should probably have a car in Canada. Then you should calculate at least about $100 a month for your car insurance, depending on the province. Some expensive provinces like Ontario, you should even calculate more, rather $300 per month. So in total, you have to calculate an average of $850 to $900 per month in living expense.
This is one of the expenses that most people don't care about. This is the application expenses. These are the expenses that you spend while you're processing your student permit application. So the first one is the application fee. That will be around $150 if you're going to apply as a single applicant. You also need to pay for your biometrics, and that will be around $85 Canadian dollar, and that will be for one person. Also, take note that sometimes you have to take the IELTS academic, and that will be around $350 or $315 Canadian dollar. And in some cases, you also need to take Duolingo if you cannot take the IELTS academic right now. That will be around $42 USD. During the application, you also need to pay the medical examination. That will be around $350 Canadian dollar. Really depends on where you are. And again, if you have a tattoo like me, you're gonna pay higher than that. For police clearance, you also need to pay for that. So in the Philippines, we don't have to pay a lot for police clearance, but if you have lived for more than 6 months in anywhere here in the world, you have to request for the police clearance. So just in my case, I also need to provide the police clearance from Dubai because I already lived there for almost 7 years. So if you have lived for more than 6 months, please request for your police clearance. You're going to need that as well for your permanent residency later on. You also need to pay for some notary public if you have to, photocopy something. You also need to get a lawyer to let's say process your deed of sale or something for your property. Those are the things that you also have to prepare for. So in total, expect that you're going to pay for about 1,100 Canadian dollar for the whole process of your application. It's a quick disclaimer that all the fees that we just talk about, it's subject to change. It depends on the school, depends on the mood of the officer or the mood of the school, right? So now you can see like how much roughly you're gonna spend for your entire studies here in Canada. So now you have to think about if you're gonna take a 1-year versus a 2-year program. So if you're gonna take around, if you're going to take a 1-year program, how much roughly would be the cost for that?
For a 1-year program, you would pay roughly $30,650.
And if you're going to take a 2-year program, that will be around
$55,560.
Yes, so this one, it's so important to take note because again, when you're submitting your application, you have to show the full fund, right, for your entire studies. That would be the best practice. You need to show them that you have enough funds for your entire studies in Canada. And sometimes you also need to keep some remaining funds in your bank account after completion of your program. I know that it's less expensive to take a 1-year program. However, again, if let's say if you wanted to get a 3-year post-graduation work permit, I think it's better to invest for a 2-year program. So you really have to think about that. And also, if you take a 2-year program, you have more PR pathways here in Canada. If you only have enough funds for 1 year, then take a 1-year program. You can always extend your study permit here by taking a 1+1 program here in Canada. You have to extend your stay and your permit here in Canada. So you have to think about that once you are here, and you have ample time to again save more money instead of have all the entire 2 year all at once, right? How about you, Felix? What do you think?
Yeah, I think if you should rather look at what kind of program you want to take, and before you do anything, you should look at all the different pathways for you to immigrate to Canada. Some people might have enough points just taking a one-year program and just working for a year and they're good to go. Other people that are really on the border with the points, with the CRS score, they might want to do a longer program, work for a longer time, accumulate more points, make more connections with potential employers for the future, and then increase their chances to immigrate to Canada.
So
right?
Please do not forget to attend the free webinar with the licensed immigration consultant, Ms. Maricel. That will be this coming Friday. Do not forget that will be in my description box. And if you're interested to study here in Canada, it will be in my description box. I have a free training and free workshop on how to choose the best program here in Canada. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you like it. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And we'll see ya. Bye.